Hello, good afternoon and welcome to Teleislas News with the most important news of the day. The Secretariat of Health is planning all the logistics that will allow the department to carry out the mass vaccination as soon as possible in the archipelago. The head of the Health Secretariat Office, William Davis Robinson, explained how this process will be.
We are in the process of micro-planning to see what the logistics will be to reach the entire population in the shortest possible time, estimating that the process could take us between a month and a half, counting on all the vaccination teams in the department.
The Secretary explained that they expect to have the support of the armed forces and the police for the mass vaccination process, which amounts to more than 1,000 immunizations per day.
The departmental essay, police, and army will be supporting us in that sense. The idea is to apply 1,000 to 1,200 vaccines daily and to have the population coverage according to the planning of the Ministry of Health of 30,000 people.
The official indicated that the process will be able to continue as planned as long as the amount of vaccines forecast by the Ministry of Health is received.
And through Decree 630 of June 9, 2021, the Ministry of Health announced that the national territory, the new modification to the National Vaccination Plan. In the third stage of this plan, a new group of people is prioritized.
The Minister of Health announced that an update has been made to the priorities in this third stage within the National Vaccination Plan. Therefore, pregnant women during the entire period of gestation up to 40 days after delivery are being included within the stage, as well as children over 12 years old with comorbidities and also people with 4 autoimmune diseases.
Rheumatoid arthritis, lupus erythematosus, ankylosing spondylitis, vasculitis. This is based on scientific evidence.
According to the Ministry of Health, Stage 5 of vaccination also includes children between 12 and 16 years of age. These children will be able to be vaccinated at the moment that the 5th stage of vaccination is open.
We are also including groups of people based on the activities they are developing in the country, where there is a very high contact. For example, consultation processes or situations of public order or high contact with the community where there is an increased risk. We are including them. Among them are civil servants, people from public entities at national, municipal, district and departmental levels who performed field work with the police, social dialogue and vulnerable attention.
This also includes the social managers who accompany governors and mayors. To date, it is not known how this will be managed or developed in the department. However, through the Secretariat of Health, Teleislas News know that they are working on the organization to carry out this new modification.
And in order to make known the Raizal culture and all its richness, different cultural managers are in meetings led by the Ministry of Culture at the House of Culture, sharing information about all that has to do with our customs.
Hello Lisa and all the televiewers. While the Ministry of Culture is here in the islands socializing the National Plan of Culture in order to show the customs of it.
In a special way, they come to listen to all the different members of the Council of Culture from San Andres Island and Providence. Here, the different sectors, then the different members from the sector of music, from art, from literature, from the cuisine. So the idea is that all them the necessities, all them the issues, all them the problematics that these cultural leaders are searching for years can be installing in a leadership way into the National Plan of Culture.
Well, the official indicated that the music cluster will also be socialized today in order to show our customs, our music to all the Colombian people. That's all information for now. For Teleislas News, Gisela Livison. Have a good day, Lisa.
And in the last hours, the Ministry of Health decreed that what would be the reopening of the cultural events and massive events that have to do with these type of projects.
Even Lisa and Aldi TV viewers, well, in the last hours, the Ministry of Health announced a new decree that want to reopen the cultural events in the entire country. Let's remember, so our department got a lot of them cultural events because for we tradition, for we culture, keep up all them things. So we gonna we talk to a functionary of the Secretary of Culture who told us what they think about this new decree.
El decreto 777 del 2021 definitivamente es un decreto.
The Decree 777 of 2021 is a hopeful decree for the sector of culture and for the sector of identity, also for cultural managers because we can return to project events that will enhance culture as an axis of economic development of the department. There is only one consensus in the Secretariat of Culture, and that is that culture becomes the main axis of the destination and what represents San Andres and Old Providence.
The functionary of the Secretary of Culture also announced that they expect all the support of the entire community when time the cultural events start open again.
We are a people that is full of identity and is full of culture, so it deserves to come out, be shown, and be positioned, and that our managers and the community can begin to live from culture.
This is all the information we report from here from the town of the island. Continue listening in studio with more information.
Thank you, Alice. And in other news, the traffic lights damages continues. The vast majority of traffic lights are out of service, which is a delicate situation since it could increase the level of accidents on the island. Motorcyclists call on the departmental government to take action on the matter.
Hello, Lisa. Good afternoon. Well, yes, as you said a while ago, more and more stoplights are out of service here in the department. Every day, one stoplight spoil, and this is something that affects not only people that are not only motorcycles and people that need to cross the road. Also, they affect everybody, and that is why the community exactly demand from the local government to please fix or find a solution to the situation because this is something that affects everybody.
This is the problem here because the motorcyclists who ride around here need to be organized, and for that purpose we have the traffic lights and they are damaged. So it's bad for us and for the passerby, so it is very necessary. It hurts us a lot because there have been no accidents. The one at 5 Corner is now damaged, with what we are counting 7. I hope they fix it soon. We will see. They said that they will fix it after this month. We will wait to see if they do. Those traffic lights are damaged. They are already a year old since the hurricane started. There have been many accidents here on the island. The points where the traffic lights are, there have been many accidents. People have fractured their legs and arms.
This is the call from the community. This is the call from the motorcyclists and also from the people that need the stoplights to get fixed soon as possible. And we talked to the local government time ago, and they say that they are working on this. So we expect this problematic and the situation to be resolved as soon as possible. This is Sylvette Mitchell-Archibald for Teleislas News.
And the national government returns with the contest Expresarte Conciencia in a new edition for children in the Caribbean and children of the region. 1,200 children are expected to participate in this edition.
The Ministry of Science, in alliance with the Ministry of Culture, launches the second version of the contest Expresarte Conciencia, aimed at children and young people between 7 and 14 years from the Caribbean and Insular region. This strategy seeks to encourage scientific vocations and creativity from research. The Minister of Science, Mabel Torres, delivered a statement about the contest.
Expresarte Conciencia en nuestra segunda versión.
Expresarte Conciencia in our second version is a contest that we opened last year, first for the biogeographic Choco. And what it seeks is that through research methodology creation, which is to articulate art, science, and culture, girls and boys and young people across the country can express through different tools their feelings and solutions from what we are living in the pandemic. To the whole country and to all the girls and boys who participate in the contest, because for us, for the Ministry of Science and Technology and for the Ministry of Culture, it is of vital importance to encourage children to recognize their environment and that they can generate solutions from their feelings.
Those interested in participating in this new edition of Expresarte Conciencia must register between June 10 and September 17 of this year through the microsite www.expresarteconciencia.minciencias.gov.co.
And through an ordinance, President Duque ordered public servants of the executive branch of the national order to return to their work according to the provisions of each district or municipality.
In the communication, the president argued that state officials must lead and support in a responsible and diligent manner the measures adopted to overcome the effects of the pandemic. Likewise, he invited the other branches of the government, control agencies, and autonomous entities to adopt this guideline to continue guaranteeing the provision of service and the fulfillment of public functions. This is why we talked to one of the magistrates of the department to know his position on this request, and who told us that this issue of virtuality comes from before the pandemic.
This situation of working in virtual mode and with the issuance of the General Procedural Code and the issuance of the Administrative Code, it was already said that technological means should be used to advance the cases. Therefore, from the beginning, we were not far from the virtuality, and what the pandemic did was to accelerate the process.
In any case, all public servants must have completed the vaccination scheme, must return to the face-to-face service, as stated in the regulation by Presidency.
And now let's get to know other facts that are making news in our brief news sections of today.
The Tourism Protection Group of the National Police leads the campaign in the department All Against Theft, which seeks to prevent this crime in all its form. Through the use of banners with messages alluding to take care of belongings, the uniformed personnel reminds residents and tourists to take care of the items in public spaces, especially before entering the beaches. Ministry of Culture and the Secretariat of Culture met with the owners of Fair Table of the Archipelago to socialize the final stage of the program, Celebrate with Your Traditional Cuisine. A total of 23 owners of the Fair Table were enrolled in the program. With them were developed strengthening processes in issues related to marketing, cost, projection, and certification of food handling by the School of Gastronomy Mariano Moreno. The Corporation for the Sustainable Development of the Archipelago, San Andres, Old Providence, and Santa Catalina, Coralina, held a workshop on the identification of turtles and other species that inhabit the islands in the facility of the bioclimatic house of the entity, with the purpose that the community provides support to the monitoring and protection activities of these animals.
Now we continue with the weather forecast. The weather forecast for today, June 11, in the coastal area of the archipelago, the sky is mainly cloudy. Temperature is 30 degrees Celsius, with winds from the northeast direction with intensities of 16 km per hour. Humidity forecast is of 73% and probability of precipitation is of 11%.